Everyone. So now that it's finally online, I just watched the film Old, which came out last year, which is the latest film directed by M. Night Shyamalan, which has had many films in his repertoire, and I will say this: it's all right. Hey, that's what I thought. I mean, it's not quite the happening or it's not no me. It's not quite unbreakable, but it's also not quite leaving the water either. So it's fairly middle of the road. So might as well talk about it. Yeah. The film, which takes place on a remote island resort, and it's a happens to discover that it ages them rapidly. A certain area of the beach, and they have to get off it before it's too late. And even though the drama aspects of this movie don't really pan out too well, as a horror, I am glad that especially with the failures of stuff like After Earth, that Knight has at least realized that Big Buddy stuff's not his forte. He partnered Blumhouse and has filmed for a very modest $10 million, and with that in mind, it's not quite the film that I was expecting. It's apparently based on some graphic novel which I've not read, and then apparently Night changed the ending on the grounds he disliked it. So like, but as someone who did not read that comic, I cannot really verify that. Can verify is that it brings to mind the classic Twilight Zone episode Passion on Lady Anne, which is similar concept of a cruise ship that ages its passengers further goes out to sea, which is one that has been homaged and spoofed many times over the years. I mean, Star Wars Regal has done it, regular shows done it. I mean, there's a lot of others who, I definitely not sure if Trails of Horror did it on the show. I think they may have done the comic, but I'm not certain. And in Star Wars Evil and regular shows, I was just cited like it was a tour bus specifically in this case. I kept aging them as I went, and yeah. So, or at least in somewhat more stable waters, so to speak, and I will definitely say this. I mean, given how, as part of like the recovering theatrical market, it did modestly well. I mean, it definitely easily made back its budget at 9 times over worldwide. And say what you will about Jason Blum, whom artistically, as a businessman, he knows how to stretch a dollar to make a lot out of a little. They definitely got their money's worth out of that location, and even though I'm not familiar with the cinematographer, at least looks pretty decent. I mean, and some of the scares are pretty effective when the psychological horror aspect, and some surprisingly gross scenes. I'm not going to spoil them here, which give an idea of how it's not really not a movie to recommend eating a large meal while you're watching. Is all I'm saying. Is all. I will say this that I I at least liked it better than Snake Eyes. I definitely understood why one people saw this movie instead. I mean, I just I didn't think it looked terrible. I just this this was because of like the Delta scenario. Heck, even want to see Space Jam or Black Widow again, but couldn't. And because of that, hence why I had to start look on spoiler reviews at home. But anyway, this will definitely not be the last horror film I look at in the next few months, seeing as we are halfway to Halloween and all that. Nor will it be likely the last film from Shyamalan I look at on this channel. I have unfinished business, so to speak, and I want to make clear here I don't have anything personal against the guy, but I definitely know he's an easy target. It's like poking fun at some of his work is like shooting fish in a barrel. So there'll be another time for me to go fishing, so to speak, later. tomorrow night, with the Amphibia finale being prime time again, I'll have my reaction thoughts on that. And then one last video after the last course drops in D+. I might just Doctor Strange again, I might not. So, I'll see you all again later. Take care, everyone.